Well, hello and welcome back. I have no idea why I'm black and white, but you've got me in black and white today. I don't know. Tell you, I cannot work things out at the moment. Things I plan are failing. That's just how things are for me at the moment. I hope you're well. I just wanted to say hello and see how you all are. I know I've been away for a while and I'm grateful that you're with me still. Thank you for all of your support. So about to hit the start of the silliest week. This is the week where I'll be out most of the day and most of the night. So I'm gift wrapping this afternoon for a little bit. Then tonight I start caroling. Tonight is singing. Tomorrow night play brass instrument. Wednesday night singing. Thursday night brass instrument. Friday is brass. Saturday singing. Sunday's brass. And then we hit Christmas Day. Also Wednesday we do our big community lunch where we have people just come in and share a Christmas meal together. I've been asked to provide music for that. And I think I'm gift wrapping Wednesday. I'm gift wrapping a little bit in between all of that. I've emptied out my car. All my music stuff's taken out. I've got to do a reassessment of how my last year went and how, try and work out what I can do better. So yes, there's lots to do. There's also the defamation trial still going on with Lumen versus Channel 10 and Lisa Wilkinson. I believe that there's a lip reader that's due today and also a chief of staff due today. I know that by the end of the week, Friday, it is expected that the judge will go to deliberation, and I don't suspect we'll have any outcome this year. Maybe possibly next year. It's definitely going to be definitely interesting. Anyway, today Fiona Brown is described by Bruce Lehman's barrister as the most important witness. So she's been called today. So this is from Samantha Maiden. Now, Samantha Maiden has actually settled with Bruce Lehman over an article that she published. But this is a witness that they want to call. So she's been described as the most important witness because she's the only person that had taken contemporaneous notes of what happened. She's expected to give evidence. So final submissions will happen. So they're not actually...
The high-profile journalist Lisa Wilkinson has hit back at Bruce Lehman's lawyer during his defamation trial, declaring, "Don't make me sound like a cheap tabloid journalist." The former Network 10 presenter is taking the stand to defend claims her 2021 story about Brittany Higgins' alleged rape defamed Mr. Lehman. Julia Bradley is at the federal court. Julia, take us through what's been canvassed today.
Well, Ash, in a heated exchange this morning with Mr. Lehman's lawyer, Miss Wilkinson denied assertions that she was entirely captured by her source, Brittany Higgins, and denied that she was thrilled by the commercial appeal of her story. Now, as we know, Bruce Lehman is suing both Network 10 and journalist Lisa Wilkinson. 2021 story which aired Miss Higgins' rape allegations. That was back in 2021. Now, Bruce Lehman claims that that story defamed him, even though he wasn't explicitly named. Here was that exchange in court this morning. Matthew Richardson SC says you had no desire to check or scrutinise anything she said. Miss Wilkinson replies, "I totally disagree." He said, "You're entirely captured by your source, weren't you?" She asked, "Can you define captured?" He says entirely committed to supporting her version of events. The journalist replies with scrutiny. Mr. Lehman's lawyer says you were thrilled by the riveting commercial appeal of the story.
So as you can see, the other day, so because none of the court proceedings can be filmed, they're live streamed, but you cannot record. So everything that they quote has to come from transcripts or their own notes.
Story that she told. Miss Wilkinson replies, "Don't make me sound like a cheap tabloid journalist, Mr. Richardson." Now, under cross-examination, Miss Wilkinson also rejected assertions she put her pride and ego ahead of Mr. Lerriman's right to a fair trial when delivering her Logie speech in 2021, just 2022, should I say, just 8 days before the start of Mr. Lerriman's criminal trial, which has since been abandoned. The journalist denied her speech, in which she called Miss Higgins courageous, was reckless and ill-advised. Maybe had her speech checked for delivering it. Here was another critical exchange. Mr. Richardson SC says, "I want to suggest you put your pride and ego ahead of my client's right to a fair trial when you gave that speech." She replied, "I completely disagree." At this stage, Justice Michael Lee interjects. He says, "Would you accept that a woman would not be showing unwavering courage if she made a false allegation of rape against an innocent man?" The journalist responds, "Yes, I accept that," to which he says, "Does it not follow that if you say that someone's showing unwavering courage, it means they're making a true allegation of rape against a guilty man?" To which she replied, "Yes." Now, Ash, Miss Wilkinson's evidence today goes...
So, again, the judge is really trying to get to the crux of it. Remember, it's a defamation. He only has to come to probable cause. Now, and this is, I guess, hello, Vidandra. Yes, I'm doing too badly. This is the difference between a tabloid journalist and a real journalist, is that she is actually on the stand today defending her journalism. She went to the stand to defend her story.
Goes direct to Ten's defence of qualified privilege, which relates to publications of public interest and requires a media outlet to show it acted reasonably. Ten is also relying on the defence of truth. Now, Miss Wilkinson's cross-examination will continue after lunch, and Mr. Lerriman has always denied the rape allegations.
Julie Bradley, thank you.
So, yeah, so this was Friday. This happened. So... Miss Brown's barrister has raised concerns over the mental health impacts of her giving evidence. So they've tried to, well, they've said that she's suffering from a mental health issue at the moment, but the judge has said he wants her in the stand. So Fiona Brown was the Chief of Staff of Defence Industry Minister Linda Reynolds' office, who previously spoken of her devastation that she was accused of being enough to help Brittany Higgins. She's denied several Higgins' claims, including that she did not support her going to the police and that she had been offered a payout in the lead up to the election. Channel 10's team are expected to press the need for her to be cross-examined. So for a lot of them, they've accepted evidence. They've accepted the affidavit as evidence, and has accepted the affidavit in evidence, and there have been elements that they were cross-examined. So for the most part, so Lisa Wilkinson, that there was an agreed parts of her affidavit, and then they were cross-examining her on different bits and pieces. So it's likely that part of Fiona Brown's affidavit will be accepted, and then the parts that aren't will be for cross-examination. She'd previously given evidence that Higgins did not use the R word, but she recalled waking up and finding Mr. Lerriman on top of her. She also told police that Mr. had told her he returned to the office to drink whiskey, a claim he later rejected when he spoke to police. However, admitted in this defamation trial that he had lied to police, and that's what he had told her. The Chief of Staff was so alarmed by this claim that she spoke to her boss, Linda Reynolds, ahead of an April 1, 2019 meeting with Miss Higgins and Senator Reynolds, where they both urged the women to go to police. Senator Reynolds maintains at no stage did Brittany Higgins say that she'd been AR'd. And Senator Reynolds urged her to go to police and insist she did all that she could do to support her. Well, here's the other question, another question. If she didn't say she'd wake up to find a guy on top of her, wouldn't that ring alarm bells? Miss Brown had previously revealed that Senator Reynolds was urging her to go to police without Miss Higgins' permission to report an essay. Vedanta, the government hasn't done anything about intoxicated representatives. The thing that probably concerns me the most about this whole case is the fact that intoxicated individuals were able to enter the premises, that it seems to be not unusual to have intoxicated individuals at Parliament House. And I think more alarming is that you can be naked in Parliament House and checked on and left alone. I mean, what type of culture is that? So veteran TV boss Peter Meakin, the project producer Chris Bendel, and Queensland Liberal MP O'Connor and the toxicologist are also expected to be witnesses today. So there's going to be a few so they're really trying to Lerman's side is trying to state that Channel 10 it was all about ratings. Our representatives are intoxicated too, and that's the issue, Vedandra. I have an issue with that. For me, what has really alarmed me is the blaseness of this. You know, whether if we just put the incident aside, you had two people that had passes that turned up to Parliament House intoxicated. The security footage shows that Brittany Higgins could not walk unaided. Where is the duty of care for them? Where is the duty of care to have found out what she was doing there if she had no plausible reason to put her back in a cab, Uber, or whatever, and send her on her way? MPs get cheap booze at Parliament courtesy. Correct, Laura. Part of the evidence of this has been that there was booze in the fridge. There was booze, and admitted under oath in the defamation trial that he thought to tell his boss he had gone back to drink whiskey was a more plausible reason than saying he was going back to get his keys, because he'd left his keys at his desk. What does that tell you? Oh, I didn't think that they would accept the fact that I'd left my keys at work. They'd left the keys to my house at home, and I didn't want them to know that I had done that. So I told them that I'd gone back to drink whiskey, and that was okay. That was accepted. The thing that really riles me up about this is that our politicians make decisions that affect everybody in this country, and they can be intoxicated. Name another profession where you can be intoxicated on the job. Because I can't come up with another profession, another job where being intoxicated to make decisions about people is acceptable. So I'm really riled up, and I'm really angry that. Now, look, I understand that Parliament House has a double, and they hold functions and that there, okay? But I'm not talking about functions. I am talking about everyday work here. I'm not talking about the stuff they do on the balls, the Parliament House ball that they attend, or hosting a member. Oh, there we go. I'm in colour again. Hosting, a foreign dignitary for dinner. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about work day, work time. Don't make deals if they don't go for a drink. It's something that they seal the deal and bottoms. Correct. So how many people's lives have been affected by drunk politicians? So for me, that's so So today is going to be another very interesting day in court. I'm going to be finished soon because it starts at 10:15. So I want to try and watch. So it says, so they put it on YouTube. It's called the recording, editing, or distribution of any footage of online court hearings is prohibited. Somebody was caught restreaming it, and they got a contempt of court charge from the judge. So they're pretty strict on that. And this case in particular is taken down. It's made private as soon as the day's hearing's over. The other thing is with Fiona Brown, they're talking about switching off the live stream camera so that the public can't hear what she's got to say. In my opinion, it's going to be very interesting to hear what she has to say, because she's, I guess, the closest thing we've got to a representative of the government. But yeah, I just, in my opinion, something happened. Something happened between Lerman and Higgins. They were both intoxicated. But Lerman says nothing happened. But I can't, for all justification, believe that she would have taken her clothes off and be lying in the way that she was if something hadn't happened. So, but the judge is there to talk about whether it has happened or if it hasn't happened. That will be part of the, I mean, the defense is the truth defense, that they were reporting it because of the fact that she's made these allegations. But so he can say that he thinks he can turn around and say something happened. I don't know what it is. So I have probable cause. So remember, the burden in civil trials is probable. The balance of probability. So the balance of probability, something happened. Did Channel 10 defame? As for the defamation, did the fact that they didn't name him cover them? The fact that people that worked with him was able to put two and two together. They've had people that talked about the fact that he was a bit creepy, that he thought she was hot. Balance of probability, something happened. Whether he was defamed by Channel 10, I have a harder time trying to work out that. But remember, we don't have to do beyond reasonable doubt. That was the criminal trial. I also find it very interesting that the Australian Federal Police talked about videos getting deleted. So around the time of this incident happening, an election was called, and the government went into caretaker mode, and in caretaker mode, no decisions can be happened. So the AFP was unable to get permission to view any of the footage of that time because it was caretaker mode. When the government was re-elected, they were able to view the footage, but some of the footage had gone missing. And that was given in evidence. And also a time period had gone between caretaker mode and viewing the footage. So was the Federal Police's investigation hampered on the balance of probability? It is quite possible. So there's lots of questions, particularly about Parliament House and the conduct of Parliament, in my opinion, because they are, I think the government really has to look at how they work and how they run, and maybe can stop this happening to anybody else. And this is why Brittany Higgins said she eventually did come out and speak about it and give charges, because she figured that maybe somebody else had been affected. Now, let me just also add that the person that is suing for defamation is also facing similar charges in Queensland for a similar offence. So they tried to have his name sealed because they didn't want prejudice. But I think now whatever he does, he's going to be prejudiced. And he's also he's also studying law, which I find to be quite fascinating, because as a law student, you know certain things. But whenever you run a defamation trial and you're doing truth, you better be sure that you're prepared for the truth, you know, and there's the truth defense. You better make sure that you want the truth to come out. And as I said, all the media, the journalists, Channel 10 and the journalists being sued have all backed themselves, and they've all backed each other. So I'm very interested to see how far KJ is prepared to back herself. And let me tell you that there have been text messages from personal phones have been between the journalist, all the messages between the journalist and Brittany Higgins have been up and scrutinised. Everything has been scrutinised. Every ounce of evidence, every ounce of contact between the journalist and the person that she was interviewing has been given to the court and looked at for scrutiny. Every single bit of evidence. Even communication between the journalist and the producer, the journalist, the executive producer, the producer to the executive producer, the producer to the network, the network to the Australian Federal Police, the network to the politicians, everything. There is something like 20 folders of evidence that has gone out. It's huge amount of evidence that's come out, and everything's been turned over. So very interesting. Anyway, I need to go now. I've got to film a couple of more videos, and I've got to just do my last lot of printing out because we're doing caroling tonight. So I take some activities that we can give out to the kids, because every child likes to do caroling. I like to do colouring in. There we go. So, yes, so the silly season we're in, and the silliest week of the year. And then I probably will crash, usually between Christmas and New Year. I crash and burn, and then back for 2024. Anyway, thank you for joining me. It's been I don't know, I really came on not really knowing what I was going to talk about, but managed to do it. Hey. Yes, well, I've got my new one. So I've got to show you what I've done, how I've set up my new one, because I accidentally bought the wrong size. I thought I was buying the A5, but I thought I was getting the A5, but I got the A6 one. So I've been sitting here and setting it up. So I guess I better tell you how I've set it up and what I've done, but that's what it is there. And yeah, hopefully, if I can get onto that now, hopefully we'll have that done for you. All right. Thank you, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you for watching, and make sure you hit like and subscribe. My subscriber count's going down, which I find to be really interesting. But anyway, all right. I hope you have a good day, good night, whatever it is, whatever time it is. And yes, Merry Christmas to you. And I will show you my setup for gift wrapping today, and I might even take you caroling with me tonight as well for a little bit, and show you some of the other stuff I do during the week this week, because I've finished school for the year. School's done. I'm now I say I've been let out for the year. So anyway, all right, I'll catch you later. Bye.